So I opted to remake some of my more popular content on the channel, the Pokemon TCG Cheats. I had it broken up into several videos because I was kind of just putting them out there as I was discovering them. So I'm going to go ahead and compile them all into one video, and I'll probably remove them from the playlist and such, but they'll still be open to public view, and they'll all link to this one. This will have every single cheat covered in it, as well as my deck builds, and also the Challenge Hall challenge guides. And also how to get all the promo cards, all the rival battles, and how to challenge each of the club members. Now, if you move all your energies into your decks, like so, as I've done here, and you have very few in the case, in this case, I have 3. I believe it's less than 15, and you talk to this guy right here, he'll say, "Excuse me, but you don't seem to have enough energy cards. Building a deck must be difficult with so few energies. Here, take these." So then he'll give you about like 10 of each, I believe. Yes, 10 of each energy, which then we can just stuff into other decks here. And then you still need to have one Pokemon in it, or at least one basic, rather. Talk to him again, and you can get more. And you can keep doing that until you can no longer jam 59 energy card decks. You can have 4 stacks of 59 energy card decks like that. Alright, so if I win the coin toss, I don't. But that's okay. He's not going to be able to do enough damage to knock out Seal in a single turn. And even if it paralyzed me, it's still not going to stop me from checking the play area. Now, in order to do this, you need to hit down an A on the lowest point of this screen. If I had another Pokemon on my bench, it would be on the bench row, not Seal. But because I only have Seal in there, it's a lot easier. I can just hit down an A on this, and then we'll get sent to this screen and get bricked. I used to reset the game, continue the duel, and then do it again, and that usually worked. But a lot of people have informed me that if you just spam B, like, repeatedly, come on, you can get out of that. Or sometimes it'll just give you the win anyway. Alright, there it goes, there it goes. It just takes a minute. Alright, and now this is the janky way of doing it that I came up with, because it was what was working for me whenever I was trying to collect all the cards in the game. And that's probably going to bite me in the foot, especially if I lose the coin toss here. Nope, I win it, cool. We just win then. So check, in play area, press down an A, and then when you get here and you're bricked, you actually just reset the game. Start through all this, continue the duel, and then just do it again. And if that doesn't work, you get bricked again, reset it again, do the same thing. There we go. How could I lose? How? I also had a couple of complaints from people talking about how this glitch didn't work for them. There's 2 reasons why it doesn't. First off, it uses your last duel results. So if you lost your last duel, it's going to make you lose every time. So you need to make sure your last one was a win. You can fight one of the professor's aides over in the laboratory and then get an easy win that way, or you can look for Imakuni. Either one, but your last result needs to be a win. The other issue you can have is if you're not using the American version. It's only in the United States versions of this game. I don't exactly know why, but it only works in that specific version. If you're using European or Australian or Japanese, it's not going to work. Also, something to be careful about if you're using the instant win glitch. Don't keep Rattatas and Magikarp in your deck. You can get one shot on the first turn, which, as you might imagine, makes it so that your current last result was a loss, and then if you try using this glitch, you actually have to go win a duel legitimately again. So don't put Magikarp or Rattata in your deck. Edit your deck to get rid of that stuff. While I'm here, I also wanted to address, some people said it didn't work on 3DS. I did test it on my copy on my 3DS. It works perfectly fine. One of the complaints I got a lot in my previous video was that Imakuni wasn't spawning. And it turns out you need to talk to this lass, and she'll ask, "Do you know Imakuni? He's a suspicious looking guy dressed in all black. You'll find him dancing away in the lounge at one of the clubs. He stands out, so it shouldn't be too hard to identify him, but maybe you shouldn't go near him." Now, despite what people say in the comments of that video, there's actually only 4 spots that Imakuni can spawn, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the loop real quick. So I save in the fighting club, and then I reset the game. Continue from diary. Go into the left room. Music changed, so there's Imakuni. And we'll battle him in a minute. Then when you go to the Lightning Club, if he's not there, you keep moving on. Which obviously he's not, because he's in the Fighting Club right now in this rotation. Then I just hit right until it lands on the Science Club. You check that room, because Imakuni can spawn up there. And then you check the Water Club. Those are the only 4 clubs that Imakuni can spawn in. Now, Imakuni is the best for the farming packs, because he actually gives you 1 of each pack whenever you beat him. Alright, and then he'll give 1 for Coliseum, 1 for Evolution, 1 for Mystery, and 1 for Laboratory. Now, on the 3rd and 6th times you beat him, he'll give you his promo card. You won 3 times against me. Does that make you happy? Does it? I don't really want to give you this, but here, take care of it. Jankus received a promotional card, Imakuni. Your active Pokemon is now confused. Your active Pokemon. Imakuni wants you to play him as a basic Pokemon, but you can't. A mysterious creature not listed in the Pokedex. He asked kids around the world who is cuter, Pikachu or me. And this character was kind of a promotional thing that Nintendo did, or the Pokemon Company did, to promote the Pokemon series, kind of like the Pokemon rap in the US. Now, in order to do this trick, you'll have to win a duel legitimately, but you can actually rewind or set a restore point if you're on 3DS at this screen, if you don't like your cards. So, let's say I didn't want the Pokemon Breeder or the Pidgeot here. I could rewind, go back to this screen, and then re-roll my packs. And then I get different cards. Important to note that if you do it on the either this screen where you actually open the pack, or when you're talking to the NPC, I can't quite pull up that frame because that's not one of the ones that I get on NSO. It will not let you rewind your pack. So you will have to make sure you go all the way back to that screen. You can also do this with the promo cards from the Challenge Cup, so you can just keep re-randomizing until you get the one you want. Now the last glitch, which I don't think I'm going to be able to show right now because I don't have a second Switch on me, is that if you set a restore point right here, send all your cards to your friend, reset the game back to your restore point, have your friends save the game instead of restore point on theirs, and then send all those cards back, you can clone them. This is effectively the reason why people think that the mainline Pokemon games aren't coming to NSO ever. Alright, now for the challenge conditions for each of the club members. For context, this is Ishihara's house, although it just reads as a question mark since I just started a new save. We're going to start with the Grass Club, because that's what Sarah B starts at. And according to Sarah B, after defeating all members of the Grass Club, you will need to find Nikki within Ishihara's house. Talk to her, and she'll return to the Grass Club. Alright, once you've beaten all the Grass Club trainers, you can go to Ishihara's house and find Nikki here, talk to her. And then she'll leave, and then you can actually go battle her. Alright, and then once you beat her, you'll get the Master Medal for the Grass Gym. Or Grass Club, whatever you want to call it. In order to challenge Rick of the Science Club, the challenge conditions are the same. You need to beat all of his little lab goons here. And once you've beaten Rick, he'll give you his badge. Now, Sarah B has this wrong. It says you have to beat all the members of this club in order to fight the leader Ken. But you only have to have the 300 cards, and then you can immediately battle him. Once you beat him, he'll give you his Fire Medal. Alright, for the Water Club, you have to beat these two first, and then beat this one, Gardener. Alright, so once you've beaten all three of them, Amy will hop up from her chair and actually battle you. And to my knowledge, this is the only time she's ever seen standing out of her chair for whatever reason. Like, they actually decide to program this model in. And if you say no, she goes and sits back in her chair, and then you can just battle her there. Which, again, why go through the extra effort? I don't understand. Alright, and then once you beat her, you get her Water Medal. Alright, next up is the Lightning Club. Challenge condition for him is to beat every other trainer in the club again. Once you beat the Electric Club leader, he'll give you the Lightning Medal. Now, the challenge condition for the Psychic Medal is just to have completed 4 medals before him. So you can challenge him immediately. And then once you've beaten him, you got your Psychic Medal. Now, the leader of the Rock Club will challenge you immediately. So you can just go right up against Gene and then collect his medal. And there we go. Now for the Fighting Club, you need to talk to the Club Master to start the quest. And then you need to be his 3 disciples spread out at the different clubs. One is at the Rock Club. Chris right here. And the second one is in the Grass Club. Michael here. And then the last one is in the Fire Club. And that would be Jessica right here. And then once you beat him, you got the last medal. Once you've earned 2 badges, Ronald will challenge you out in the challenge hall here. And if you beat him, you'll actually get a promo Jigglypuff. Alright, well, lost the loss, so I'll give you this card. Jigglypuff level 12. Yeah, it has an ability to kind of stall out a little bit, but because you're only healing 10 at a time, it's not exactly that great. And it's mostly just to offset the damage it does to itself from Double Edge. The other Jigglypuff I think is better if you're trying to run the Wigglytuff through the wave, but I'll have to get back on my main profile to figure that out. Now once you've got 3 medals, you can actually go to the challenge hall, and you'll be able to fight Ronald again. And even if you, once again, if you miss this Mewtwo promo, you can still get it. But this is a really good promo card to grab. This Mewtwo is used in a lot of decks. And effectively, you're just going to beat the 3 trainers. You can change your deck, you can save in between, and then you'll fight Ronald at the end and get the Mewtwo. Congratulations, you've defeated 3 opponents. Most unfortunate, Ronald. Do try again in the Challenge Cup. That was luck, but a loss is a loss. Jankus, I won't lose next time. The winner of this Challenge Cup is Jankus. Jankus, your prize is this level 60 Mewtwo. Once again, if you miss this Mewtwo at this particular stage, you can get it at the end of the game. You just have to farm the Challenge Cup and hope you get to battle Ronald, because you can only get them from battling Ronald. But you get Energy Absorption, which lets you take energies from the discard pile and put them on Mewtwo. And then, of course, Cyburn is just a decent power, like 40 power move. Once you beat the 5th badge, or once you've collected your 5th badge, Ronald will once again challenge you in the hallway, this time giving the trainer card Super Energy Retrieval, which is another really good one you don't want to miss out on. Granted, if you do, you can always get it from the Challenge Cup. Dude, I let you win, but a loss is a loss, so I'll give you this card. You retrieve Super Energy Retrieval. Trade 2 of the other cards in your hand for up to 4 basic energy cards from your discard pile. I like to add this and mix in with regular energy retrievals so that I can get more energies out, especially on Pokemon like Blastoise, where you can just load up with water energies constantly. Now our next rival battle and challenge cup is also after the 5th badge, or 5th medal. Enter the challenge cup, and once again you beat 3 trainers, and the last one will be Ronald. And this time you're going for a promo Mew, which is less good, but still pretty good in some psychic decks. Alright, and then once you've beaten Ronald, you will get the promo Mew. Level 8 Mew. 40 HP is not really a ton. However, the Pokemon power prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to Mew by evolved Pokemon, excluding your own. This power stops working while Mew is asleep, confused, or paralyzed. Effectively, what you can do with this is you can completely jam Rain Dance, you can jam a lot of evolutionary heavy decks. Now there's a lot of one-time trades you can do in this game, including events where if you say no, you're not going to be able to get it from that particular player. You can still farm them out through the challenge cup, and I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. But effectively, here's some of them. I see you play the Pokemon trading card game. I'm not into dueling, I prefer collecting cards. By the way, would you happen to have Parasect? If you do, I was wondering if you might want to give it to me. How about it? He's going to ask for a lot of like weird semi-rares, but before I rewound it to record this, he was asking for a Graveler. Oh, okay, never mind, I can't even get it. So, he'll give you something after you give him a bunch of random rares. I believe it's the Pikachu. Alright, in the Electric Club, this kid will ask for a level 20 Electabuzz, but he really wants the level 35. This is a terrible trade, by the way. The level 35 is the one that's used in Haymaker. This one is not nearly as good, but it is an easy way to get the promo card. Light Screen. Whenever an attack does damage to Electabuzz after applying weakness and resistance during your opponent's next turn, that attack only does half the damage to Electabuzz, rounded down to the nearest 10. Any other effects of attacks still happen, meaning you'll still get paralyzed, you'll still get frozen, or not frozen, you'll still get paralyzed, you'll still go to sleep, you'll still get burned, you'll still get poisoned. Flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 10 damage plus 20 more damage. If tails, this attack does 10 damage. Much worse version of the Thunder Punch or whatever that the level 35 Electabuzz has. Now, he will still try to offer you this one, so if you tell him no, you can actually get it later. In the Fire Club, there's a player called Lad right here. Alright, so if you talk to Lad here, he'll ask for all of your energies that you don't have currently inside a deck. You can actually hoard all your energies inside the decks and then do this trade so he doesn't get all of them. But using that energy trick I mentioned before, you can literally just get them all back, so I don't really care. And what he'll give you is check the wall, 2 tiles left of this bookshelf. You'll find something really nice. Thanks again, bye. And then if you look behind it, you'll get the level 9 promo Slowpoke, which has Headbutt and Amnesia. Choose one of the defending Pokemon attacks. That Pokemon can't use that attack during your opponent's next turn. Not really all that good of a card. However, if I remember correctly, this is one of the ones that if you tell him no, you're so mean, it's okay, I'll ask somebody else, bye meanie, and then he runs away. And you cannot interact with the picture once he's gone. I'm not very fond of people who think too highly of themselves. That's why I don't like the members of the Psychic Club. Hey, is that the Psychic Medal to defeat Murray? I feel so much better. Here, let me give you this Mewtwo card. So this is the same Mewtwo promo we got from the Challenge Cup, but this one is just a different art. You can still only run 4 Mewtwo, but you can do 2 of this art and 2 of the other one if you farm it out. And I believe you also get this one from Ronald if you beat him in the Challenge Cup. There's a chance of you getting it from him. There's a girl here looking for an she's looking for an Oddish to give you a Vileplume, which is an excellent trade. It's not a promo, but it is a good trade, because you're getting a rare for common, so...
Also forgot that she actually does more than just the trade for the Vileplume. And we actually do have to reload it. So if you save and reset your game, she'll move on to the next trade, which is a Clefairy for a promo Pikachu. Outside of the Challenge Cup, this is the only way to get this promo Pikachu. And then if you reset the game one more time, you will trade a Charizard for a Blastoise. So if you pull a Charizard, you can get a much easier Blastoise to get working on Rain Dance.
This girl is looking for a Lapras, and she'll give you a promo Arcanine. So if you trade... hold on, I gotta take it out of my deck. Now, at least she'll be able to, if you say no, she will still offer to trade. And then you get the promo Arcanine level 34.
Now, Ishihara's trades are a little bit harder to get. What you need is a Clefable, a Ditto, and then a Chansey. However, for the last one, you have to defeat the Grandmasters and the Champion. The other two you can get at any time. And there are 3 NPCs you need to talk to. The first one is over here at the Stone Club. And she'll say, "Oh, excuse me, did you hear? It's the talk of the town that Ishihara wishes to trade." Now, I'll get in more to that in a minute, but effectively she's one of the 3 NPCs you need to talk to trigger him. You also need to talk to this kid in the Science Club to make him appear. Or you can talk to the kid by the computer in the Fire Club. And effectively, once you've done this, you can meet Ishihara at the house, talk to him, then save somewhere else, reload the game, and then talk to each of those NPCs and get the dialogue that this NPC gives in the Stone Club. "Oh, excuse me, did you hear it's talk of town that Ishihara wishes to trade a very rare card? Maybe I'll visit him myself." Once you've talked to that, and once you've heard that he wants to trade, then you go to Ishihara, and you can trade him the Clefable for the promo Surfing Pikachu. Alright, and then I'm going to save in the challenge hall. You could probably just save in Ishihara's house. Doesn't really matter. Then you're going to reload the game. And this time you're going to go talk to the one in the Science Club. Ishihara wants to trade another very rare card. I wish I could trade cards like Ishihara. Once you've got that text, you can go straight back to Ishihara. And this time you're going to trade a Ditto for a promo Flying Pikachu. Once again, you're going to save and reload the game as before, and this time go to the Fire Club and talk to the NPC by the PC. "I heard my friend Ishihara gave someone a card. Why don't you go visit him sometime?" Doesn't sound like he's going to be up for a trade, but that actually is the NPC you need to talk to get him to trade. And this last time, he'll trade you a Chansey for an alternate version of the Surfing Pikachu art. Once again, you have to beat the Grandmasters and become the champion in order to get this.
So in order to get the Challenge Cup to appear, and this is something I also got a lot of complaints about, you actually do have to win a duel with somebody, save, and then reset. If you just keep saving and resetting, it won't show up. So tying it to the Imakuni route is actually a lot more useful, because then you always get a duel with him. You always get a duel with someone, and then you can save there. Now here's how to get each of the promo cards. You can get this one from the tournament or from that trade I mentioned earlier. This is one of the ones you get by beating the game. The most you can get of this is normally 2. However, you can transfer them to a friend or have a friend transfer them to you. And if you use save states, you can actually clone them in this game. Articuno is also one of the ones you have to get by beating the game. This Pikachu, you should be able to get from the Challenge Cup, although I believe there's an NPC who trades you this. As well as this Pikachu. Flying Pikachu you can get from the Challenge Cup. Surfing Pikachu Art 1, Surfing Pikachu Art 2, both available at the Challenge Cup. Electabuzz, available at the Challenge Cup, or by that one random trade where you have to give up the level 35 Electabuzz. Zapdos is the Game Boy one you get from beating the game. Slowpoke you can get from the Challenge Cup or from the kid you trade all the energies to. Note, if you tell the kid no, you won't be able to get this at all from him. You'll have to just get it from the Challenge Cup. Mewtwo, you get this specific art from beating Ronald in the Challenge Cup. You get this one from talking to the guy in the Psychic Club after beating Murray. And you can also get it from the Challenge Cup. You get Mew from the Challenge Cup by beating Ronald. Jigglypuff you can get from beating Ronald the second time or the first time he challenges you, or from the Challenge Cup. Dragonite you get from beating the game. Imakuni you get from beating Imakuni 3 times. Every third time he'll give you one. Super Energy Retrieval you get from beating Ronald on the second challenge, or getting it from the Challenge Cup. And then there's 2 more promos that I do not have. One you can get from Card Pop. The other one you should be able to get from Card Pop, but thanks to a coding error, you cannot get the Phantom Venusaur. You can get the Phantom Mew, but it does require quite a bit of luck or trading with somebody who's probably cloned a lot of them. Something important to note is that in the Pokemon TCG, when you're building your decks, for the most part, you can look up deck lists for any base to fossil format for the original Pokemon TCG. That said, there's a few that they were unable to code in because of the complexity of them and how many issues they had ruling them in real tournaments. One such is Electrode. Electrode had an ability in the original base set. Electrode had an ability that allowed you to knock it out and then use it as 2 energy on any Pokemon of whatever type you wanted it to be, which would be a monstrous headache for them to replicate into this. So unfortunately, they could not put it in there, which nerfs a lot of electric type and other type of high energy stacking decks that used Electrode as the main engine piece. Another Pokemon that's going to be horribly changed is Ditto. Ditto had a Pokepower that would allow it to copy the opponent's Pokemon and then use whatever energies you had it on as rainbow energies, for lack of a better term, and be able to do the exact same attacks that your opponent would. It created a lot of ruling nightmares, and trying to code this thing was a pain, so instead they opted to remove all damage counters from Ditto. For the rest of the game, replace Ditto with a copy of a basic Pokemon card other than Ditto, chosen at random from your deck. Not all the decks from the base to fossil format are usable in Pokemon TCG Game Boy. That said, thanks to the existence of the Game Boy cards, there are some interesting things you can do. I actually made a Charizard deck that may or may not work, since you can use this Game Boy Moltres, which granted you have to beat the game to get, in order to actually farm fire energies to feed Charizard to basically energy burn them. Now this is the Haymaker deck build, and this is the one everybody wants to do immediately. You'll need 3 Scyther, this particular one, although I don't think there's any other ones. You'll also need 4 of this specific Electabuzz. Then you want 4 Hitmonchan, 3 Professor Oaks, 3 Bills. Those are for getting through your deck. Energy Retrieval, you want 3 of them. 4 Energy Removal, 3 Super Energy Removal, 3 Scoop Up, 3 Computer Search, 4 Plus Power, 3 Item Finders, 3 Gust of Winds, 6 Lightning Energy, 7 Fighting Energy, and 4 double colorless energies. Effectively, this deck is just a beater deck. Like, the whole thing is just about trying to get high power damage and low energy cost. So you get a 20 damage jab right off the bat. For 2 energies, you'll be able to get Thunder Punch, which has a 50-50 chance of doing 40 damage or 30 damage plus 10 to himself. And then Scyther looks like it's going to take a while to set up, but because it requires only normal type energy, you can use double colorless energy on Scyther and then get Slash early. The next most common deck in the Pokemon based to fossil meta that everybody wants to replicate is Rain Dance, which stars this Blastoise. As often as you like during your turn, before you attack, you may attach 1 water energy card to one of your water Pokemon. This does not use up your 1 energy card attachment for the turn, which means you can just keep loading up a bunch of water energy And I guess additionally 1 psychic energy or a double colorless and something else. This power cannot be used if Blastoise is asleep, confused, or paralyzed. Does 40 damage plus 10 more for each water energy. You can't add more than 20 in this way. So if you put 5 energies on it, you're good. There's 4 Squirtle, 1 Wartortle, 3 Blastoise. We'll get around the Wartortles with breeders. And then for extra basics and power, we have Articuno. Some variations run Lapras, but it's up to you. And then we're running 14 water energies. That's it. No double colorless or anything like that. 4 Professor Oaks for moving through the deck. 4 Bills for moving through the deck. 1 last. Basically, you guys would have to shuffle your trainer cards into your deck. This is the only disruption card in the base to fossil format. So it's good to have at least one of those in there. 4 Pokemon breeders. 4 energy retrieval. 2 super energy retrieval. 2 switches, because we're running evolve Pokemon, so we don't use scoop up. 4 computer search, 1 plus power, 3 item finders, 1 gust of wind, 2 super potions, 2 maintenance, and that's it. Another big but more niche deck in the Pokemon TCG meta, or the base to fossil meta, is Do the Wave. You're going to have 4 Scythers, and you're also going to have 2 Electabuzz. However, rather than Hitmonchan, the star of the show is actually Wigglytuff, which you're going to have 2 of, and you're going to have 3 Jigglypuff. I use this one because you can get sleep support. You could use the promo one, but actually that's the game. There's the promo one. Gameboy one is also an option, which will let you flip a coin and put a basic Pokemon card chosen at random from your deck on your bench. A little luck-based, but you can fill up your bench faster, so your call. I'm using this one because I'd rather just get sleep support and do some damage. For energies, we're running 4 grass energy, 8 lightning energy, and 4 double colorless energies. Then we're running 3 Professor Oak and 4 Bill for moving through the deck, 1 last for disruption, 2 energy retrieval to get things from the discard, 4 energy removal, and 3 super energy removal to slow down our opponents, 2 switches because we're running evolve Pokemon, 2 computer searches, 4 plus powers, 3 item finders, 3 gust of winds, 1 super potion, and that's it. And effectively, the entire strategy for this deck is to load up your bench with as many Pokemon as you can, and then get Wigglytuff to use Do the Wave, which will do a total of 70 damage per attack. This next deck is one I made, although one of the gym leaders uses an inferior version of it. I call it Energy Transfer Explosion. So we're going to use Venusaur's ability to move grass energies as much as we want around our grass-type Pokemon. And we're going to use 1 Ivysaur and 4 Bulbasaur. So our goal is to use Breeder to get Venusaur, but we do have an Ivysaur if we need it. Then, the star of the show down here is Exeggutor. We want 2 of those. His attack requires a single energy to flip a coin and do 20 damage. But for every energy you put on it, it gets another coin flip. Double colorless energy actually counts for this, so I'm actually going to be running those, but we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Execute, so you can evolve it, you want 4 of those. And then we're not running any more Pokemon. We have 12 grass energy and 4 double colorless energy. In trainer cards, we have 2 Professor Oaks, 4 Bills, 1 Lass, 2 Pokemon Trader, 3 Pokemon Breeder. Trader is so you can swap it out in your deck, but it costs less than Computer Search. It's just more limited. Energy Retrieval, Energy Search, we want 4 of each of those. Energy Removal and 1 Super Energy Removal. Then we're running 2 Computer Search, 3 Gust of Winds, and that's it. Energy Burn was my attempt at making this Charizard work, because everybody wants to run Charizard. But the reality is, he has way too high of a discard cost. Now, as often as you like during your turn before you attack, you may turn all energy attached to Charizard into fire energy for the rest of your turn. That means you can use double colorless energy on him, which will make things easier. So this is kind of what I have built. I have 2 of this Charizard, 3 of the Charmeleon, and 4 Charmander. However, this deck will require you to beat the game, as you need the Game Boy Moltres. And this will also require you to either get a friend's help or use the Virtual Console cloning glitch. which will allow you to get 4, because the most you could normally get in a standard playthrough is 2. Effectively, when you put Moltres onto your bench, from 1 to 4 chosen at random, you will get Fire Energy cards from your deck into your hand, then shuffle your deck afterward. Beyond that, we're running 2 Professor Oak, 4 Bill, 2 Pokemon Breeder, 4 Energy Retrieval, 4 Energy Removal, 2 Computer Searches, 4 Plus Power, 1 Item Finder, 3 Gust of Winds, 1 De-Evolution Spray, and this is a weird one to put in there, but it's actually so we can devolve Charizard back into Charmeleon if we run out of energies. We still have a chance of doing something. It's kind of more of a niche thing. You could take it out and put something else that's more useful in there. I just put it in there just for that. It's a very situational card. 16 Fire Energy and 4 double colorless energy. Another infamous deck build is the Licki-Lockdown. So the star of this show is going to be Lickitung. And you're going to be running 4 of them. Or I'm sorry, you're going to be running 3 of them, I lied. And 1 Chansey. Then you're going to be running 3 Mr. Mime. Then you're going to run 3 of this Magmar, the level 31 one with Smokescreen, and 1 level 35 Fossil. Energies, you're going to be running 16 Fire Energy, and within your trainer cards, you're going to have 3 Professor Oaks, 4 Bills, 1 Mysterious Fossil, 2 Energy Retrieval, 3 Energy Removal, 3 Super Energy Removal, 4 Pokemon Centers, 4 Scoop Ups, 3 Computer Searches, 2 Item Finders, 3 Gust of Winds, and 1 Gambler. The entire goal with this deck is to stall and lock down your opponent until they deck out. It is one of the most obnoxious ways to win, but it is a fun one to do every once in a while. In the same vein, we have the MoltreMill. So for this, you're going to be running 4 of the 35 Moltres. You may discard any number of Fire Energy cards attached to Moltres when you use this attack. If you do, discard that many cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Then I'm running 4 of this Mewtwo, mainly for Barrier. Then I have 3 Chansey, and then for energies I have 8 Fire Energy and 7 Psychic Energy, and then 4 double colorless energy. Next we have Imposter Oak. Your opponent shuffles his or her hand into her deck, then draws 7 cards. If they have less than 7, you force them to draw cards. So, Fuji, choose a Pokemon on your bench, shuffle it, and any cards attached into your deck. This not only helps you get rid of damage counters from your Pokemon, but also loads your deck up with more stuff. Clefairy Doll. If you use this and they knock it out, they don't get a prize card. Same thing with the Mysterious Fossil. Super Energy Removal just to slow them down. 3 Scoop Ups so we can prevent them from getting KOs. Defender to increase defense. Although honestly, it might be better to use the energy removal, but up to you. 4 Super Potion to heal up. And that is all. Once again, this deck is designed to just stall the living Gehenna out of your opponent until they deck out. Another obnoxious stall deck is the MagMonDrio, or the AlakaChampChansey. Using Alakazam's ability, you can move around damage counters. So what people do is they have Alakazam in the back moving around damage counters, and they have it moving over to Chansey because Chansey has 120 HP. So you would just load up your bench with 4 Chansey, move all the damage counters onto them, and then you would have a Machamp, which you're only using Breeder. You would have a Machamp use Seismic Toss, and of course with Strike Back, whenever your opponent damages a Machamp, even if it's knocked out, it'll do 10 damage to the attacking Pokemon. So for this deck, we're going to be running 2 Machamp and 4 Machop, 0 Machokes, as weird as that is. Then we're running 4 Abra, 2 Kadabra, 2 Alakazam, 4 Chansey, which I've already shown, 2 Professor Oak, 4 Bill, 2 Pokemon Trader, 4 Pokemon Breeder, 2 Energy Retrieval, 1 Super Energy Retrieval, 4 Energy Removal, 1 Switch, 2 Pokemon Center, 4 Scoop Ups, 2 Computer Searches, 6 Fighting Energy, and 8 Psychic Energy. This next deck stars Dragonair. It's called the Dragonair Drought. And effectively, you actually just use it to continuously get rid of energy cards. It requires 4 energy to use Hyper Beam, but you can use double colorless energy in this. So you can effectively just keep your opponent from getting energies, especially if you combine that with energy removal. For this deck, you're going to be running 2 Dratini, 2 Dragonair, 1 Dragonite 45, the original one that has Step In, not the Game Boy one. And you're also going to be running 3 Lickitung and 2 Chansey just in case you need to stall. You're also going to be running this Slowpoke, because spacing out effectively lets you remove the damage counter from it. You're going to use this Ghastly, which has a ability to paralyze the opponent. But the big thing we need is putting energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. And then you have Mr. Mime to stall some more. Mewtwo, getting energy absorption so you can get energy out of the discard onto Mewtwo. And you're also going to use this Mew, which you get from the Fossil set, which has Psywave and De-Evolution Beam. This will do more damage when the opponent has more energy, so you can't use it until the opponent actually has some. And with this, you can actually force devolve Blastoise and other threats. And lastly, just for straight power, we do have 3 Scyther in the deck. For your energies, you're going to run 2 Grass Energy for the Scyther. You're going to run 10 Psychic Energy and 4 Double Colorless Energy. Then you're going to run 3 Professor Oaks, 1 Fuji, 4 Energy Retrieval, 4 Energy Removal, 4 Super Energy Removal, 2 Scoop Ups, 1 Computer Search, 1 Plus Power, 3 Item Finder, 1 Gust of Wind, and that's it. This next deck is called Step In, which is named after Dragonite's ability, and the entire thing is supposed to be Retreat, Aid, and Jamming. So with Dragonite's ability, you can once per turn, before you attack, if Dragonite is on your bench, you may switch it with your active Pokemon. So effectively, you can just send in Dragonite. It only has a 1-star retreat cost. You can pay that and then retreat it normally if you have any heavy Pokemon that you can't move. You're going to be running 3 Dragonair, 4 Dratini, 3 Dragonite. You're also going to be running 4 Kangaskhan, 2 Lickitung, 2 Dodrio, and 2 Doduo. Dodrio also has Retreat Aid. As long as Dodrio is benched, pay 1 less energy to retreat your active Pokemon. If you combine this with Dragonite, you can get free switches. And then that's it for that. And then we're also running 3 Hitmonchan just to actually get some pretty good power. Energies, we're running 13 Fighting Energy and 4 Double Colorless because most of our Pokemon are Normal type. 2 Professor Oaks, 4 Bill, 2 Lass, 2 Pokemon Trader, 4 Energy Retrieval, 1 Super Energy Removal, 1 Plus Power, 2 Item Finder, 1 Gust of Wind, and 1 Potion. The next deck utilizes Magmar, Hitmonchan, and Dodrio. Once again, making use of Dodrio's Retreat Aid. You're going to use the level 31 Magmar that lets you use Smokescreen to stall. You're going to use 4 of those. You're going to have 3 of the Hitmonchan we've covered multiple times already. And then you're going to run 4 Doduo and 3 Dodrio. For energy, you're going to have 9 Fire Energy and 7 Fighting Energy, and 1 Double Colorless Energy. Lastly, you're going to have 4 Professor Oak, 4 Bill, 1 Lass, 4 Energy Retrieval, 2 Super Energy Retrieval, 4 Energy Removal, 1 Pokemon Center, 3 Pokeballs, 2 Plus Power, 2 Item Finder, and 2 Gust of Wind. Next up is my own creation I made as an anti-Haymaker Dream Team. You're going to run 3 Gengar, and you want 1 of this specific Haunter because of transparency, and 4 of this Ghastly. Do not run this Ghastly or this Haunter. I don't care if you have them, they're not good. Then I'm also running 2 of the level 60 Mewtwo. You can use this art as well. Then for our normal types, we're going to be running 4 Dratini and 2 Dragonair. And once again, we're going to use Dragonair. It has a resistance to Psychic types, so if the opponent's running any Psychic types, we can use that. We'll be able to resist the damage for those. The big thing we want to do is we're using Gengar's resistance to stop Hitmonchan. Next, we have 12 Psychic Energy and 4 Double Colorless Energy. And then for the trainer cards, we're using 3 Professor Oaks, 4 Bills, 2 Pokemon Trader, 3 Pokemon Breeder. The Breeders is to evolve Gengar. 2 Energy Retrieval, 3 Energy Search, 4 Energy Removal, 1 Super Energy Removal, 2 Scoop Ups, 2 Computer Searches, and 2 Gust of Winds. Alright, this is the last deck I'm going to cover. It's another common one we got from the TCG blog that will also be linked in the description. You're going to be running 2 of this Mew, the level 23 one that you get from the fossil set. And then you need 4 Mewtwo at level 60. I'm using 2 of each art because I have this one and I like this one more. You'll need 4 Electabuzz, and that's all you need for the electric types. You need specifically the level 35, the one we use in every deck. You'll need a Rattata, and I think this is just to get around Mr. Mime, because I think all the rest of these are going to be doing too much damage to Mr. Mime. And then you're going to get 3 Professor Oaks, 3 Bill, 1 Mr. Fuji, 2 Lass, 2 Energy Retrieval, 1 Energy Search, 3 Energy Removal, 3 Super Energy Removal, 2 Scoop Up, 3 Computer Searches, 2 Plus Power, 3 Item Finder, 3 Gust of Winds, 2 Super Potion, 6 Lightning Energy, and 9 Psychic Energy, as well as 1 Double Colorless Energy. Hope you found this guide useful. Happy haunting.